How's it going, everybody? Happy Easter. You know, it was funny to me that when I was scheduling this live stream, I actually probably wasn't going to live stream tonight because I'm like really exhausted after celebrating Easter and just doing my normal day-to-day thing. But as I was in here just goofing off trying to figure out if I was going to record a video or not, and of course at the last second I decided, hey, let's just go ahead and go live. See, Chris Knotts, thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I really do appreciate it. Now, do me a favor, everybody. Y'all know how this works. Let me know if you can hear me okay, because I'm always constantly playing with the audio in here and playing with my microphones and trying to make things sound as good as I possibly can. And I'm also trying to troubleshoot something right now, which is I'm not seeing my chats from YouTube show up in my chat window. I don't know why. Facebook is showing up. I just wish I knew why YouTube is not showing up. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Like, wow. Okay. All I had to do is all of a sudden move something and it's working a little bit better. Okay. So Robert Allison, you're saying there's a little bit of an echo. The only thing I can think of to fix that is I have to basically shut down all of the other microphones while I'm not at the table, and I don't necessarily want to do that. But you know, these are the things that I'm still constantly working on and trying to improve on and get better at. And then hopefully I do plan on probably putting a couple of more soundproof panels in here that'll hopefully help. It'll hopefully be a little bit better. And you can tell, like when I use my my new wireless microphone, when I have it clipped underneath my shirt here, the audio sounds great. I just wish I can get these microphones to sound as good or close to as good as possible, but I think that's just going to take some more time and some more more experimenting. So, okay, let's see. A couple of announcements here. I got to give my due diligence to my sponsors, Onboard Sportswear. If you're not familiar with them, they are the company that makes the jerseys for the Mosconi Cup, and they make plenty of other jerseys as well. I got some of my APA teammates to buy team jerseys, as well as some nice mid-layer jackets. They're really good. And so if you go to their website, onboardsportswear.com or onboardsportswear.us, if you live in the United States, you can use my discount code LilChris10, all capital letters, and you can get 10% off your purchase. And then one of my newer sponsorships, Outsville, I've always had an affiliate code with them, but we're trying, me and Chris are trying to up our ante as to how we're doing business with one another. So I want to make sure that I give my due diligence to give them a proper shout out. And I still have the same affiliate code with them, which I believe it's a little bit different. And I'm not prepared to give that one out just a second. Because if you go to outsville.com and look up their stuff. They're the makers of the Outsville Accu-Racks, and they've got their own chalks and whatnot. But I primarily use them for the Accu-Racks. And the discount code that I have with them is LIL' space Chris. So actually, let me go ahead and type that out at the very least, because that'll probably be more helpful. So Outsville discount code, which is LIL' Chris. So if you go to their website and use that discount code, you can also get 10% off of your purchase. Now, last but not least, I have TaomBilliards. They're one of my, I guess, yeah, they're my most latest one. I mean, I've always had an affiliate with Outsville, and I had that long before Taom, but TaomBilliards is my most recent sponsorship. I unfortunately do not have an affiliate code with them anymore. That expired a long time ago. But if you've been following my Facebook page, I've been giving some serious consideration into being a vendor for them, which means I have to make bulk purchases from them and then sell them to basically anywhere in the United States. I don't think it would be very cost efficient for me to try to sell overseas, and because if you live overseas, you might as well buy from them directly because they are an overseas company. I just haven't decided if I want to pull the trigger on that one yet, but I'm still seriously considering it. And I might as well go ahead and put this out because this is something I'm also seriously considering. How many of y'all would be interested in like Lil Chris stickers or Lil Chris patches? Because I've contemplated on maybe getting a bulk order of them, and I can throw them in as with giveaway packages. I can obviously just sell them individually as well. But again, it's this whole concept of spending money to make money, and I'm still just a little hesitant on putting forth the initial investment and trying to figure out if the amount of work that I'm going to have to put into maintaining orders, taking people's orders, making sure I don't get stuff messed up, putting stuff into, taking stuff to the post office, making sure it gets sent out, yada, 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 and how much work is that going to actually be for me? Because if y'all know me well enough, y'all know I do not want to make a business out of this. But an extra source of income is never a bad idea. That I figured at the very least at this point in my social media, YouTube, Facebook career, or whatever you want to call it, I figured it's something I can definitely at least maybe give a try. And then if it becomes too overwhelming, I'll just make an announcement saying, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. It's just too much work. I like this. Yes to crypto. You're saying little Amazon. Yeah, I could be my own little Amazon store. Which, yes to crypto. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have, or at least welcome to my live stream. And because I have noticed you're one of my newest followers, because I've seen your comments on some of my later or my most recent videos. So I really do appreciate you being here for a live stream. And yes, what's going on, Eves? As you can see, not only am I getting really close to 96,000 subscribers, I'm basically just almost 4,000 subscribers away from the big 100,000 subscribers. Not like my buddy Sharavari, who's gotten over 400,000 subscribers, which is like he's got to be turning over in his grave to be like, holy crap, how do I have this much popularity and stuff? And so that's just freaking awesome to him. I don't know if I'll ever catch up with him. I just can't post as often as he can, and I think he manages multiple social medias. I think he's got his YouTube channel, he's got his Facebook page, I think he has his own website, I think he has TikTok and Instagram, and I'm just not all about that. I have at least YouTube and Facebook, and then I post to Reddit from time to time, and that's about it. Since I'm streaming to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time, I have thought about streaming to Twitch again, because when I used to play video games, I still play video games, I just don't stream them anymore, but I used to stream playing video games. So I've often thought about maybe just streaming over to Twitch again, since I already have an account with them, and it wouldn't be too difficult to just add another live streaming platform to what I already do. But one of those things, again, where I still haven't just decided if I wanted to do that or not. Ooh. Mark Bastarich, I hope I said that correctly. It says you're a Predator Tuxedo owner, which is the cue I'm going to be using tonight, and you're a Q Smith lathe owner thanks to my channel. Because see here, I guess you can't see it, but my lathe is over here. So yeah, and I'm pretty soon. I've already done where I put the Taom Fusion tip on my Predator Icon 4.5, and I'm about ready to take my Tuxedo cue and put a Taom Soft on there, so that way I can do a comparison between the two. That's probably going to be one of my next videos that I end up doing. What is this? Robert Allison, you're asking what was the game that I was streaming? Maybe that's what you're asking. I still play to this day a game called Heroes of the Storm. It's what's called a MOBA, Massive Online Battle Arena, and I pretty much use that as a time killer. Matter of fact, Craig, that's somewhere in here in the live chat, him and I get online from time to time, and we actually game together, which is a lot of fun. Because that'd be one of the next things that maybe I could possibly do, is I could start gaming with some of my fans. So I think that would be really cool. All right, well, I want to thank everybody for being here. If you haven't done so already, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, please give the stream a thumbs up. If you're on YouTube and you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing to the channel, because all this stuff really helps me out in my growth. It helps people be able to discover the live stream while I'm live streaming, and then also hopefully after the fact as well. If you're on Facebook, liking the stream would be very appreciative, and also if you could share it to your Facebook profiles, so that way your friends and family can get to know me, and watch me struggle play straight pool, or at least get to know my YouTube channel. And if they have an interest in learning how to play pool, hopefully my videos can help out. And then of course share it to your share the stream also to your favorite Facebook pool groups as well. I'd really appreciate it. Let's see. So tonight, we're gonna do some straight pool. I was actually messing around with some straight pool, trying to do my high run stuff before I decided to go live. I was toggling between after doing a couple of straight pull racks, whether or not if I wanted to go live or make a video, because I was going to do just a break and run of a 10-ball rack using my new. Let me see here. Using my new one of my new head cameras that I bought. It's this guy. If anybody have seen the quick reels that I've made on Facebook, or my shorts that I've done for YouTube, the head camera that I'm using now is this little guy. This is a DJI Action 2 camera, and this is the head strap for it. And I like this so much better than the GoPro. You know why? That's why. It magnetically holds itself to this headband, and then the headband just goes around my head. It doesn't go on top of my head like the GoPro one does. And this thing is just super cool. There's an internal hard drive on this thing for me to be able to pull videos off of it, in order to be able to transfer them to my phone, so that way I can transfer them to my computer to do any types of editing, as well as there's this, which is the external power supply. Like, it has its own battery in here as well, but when I connect it to this thing, it also charges off of this thing, which is basically a portable charger. But there's also a slot for an SD card. So there's an internal hard drive and there could be an external hard drive. And then when you attach both of them, you can transfer files from the internal hard drive into the external hard drive, pull the card out, and then transfer it to wherever you want it to go. So this thing is really cool. I really like using it. It's just so much easier to use than my GoPro. All right, let's see here. And so when I was gonna my last two point of view runouts that I did for 8-ball and I did for 9-ball, I used my GoPro 10. But for the 10-ball one that I'm going to do next, I was going to use the DJI Action 2 camera. But here we are, and we're about to do a live stream instead. All right, so let's see here. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and get started. What do you say? Let's switch on over to this. All right, let's see here. Now, you know what? I don't even have my scorekeeper up. This is how last minute I am with this stuff. I didn't even prepare properly. Let's see here. Oh, I didn't even know it was still visible. Let's hide that for now. Let's go ahead and clear everything and get everything ready. I think that's all I need to do. You know what? Let's hide this. And yeah, let's get started. The record is still 79. I haven't come anywhere close to beating that record, but hopefully Maybe tonight will be something different. I don't know. Now the real question is, before I get started, is how do I sound out here? I imagine it's going to be a whole lot more echoey than when I'm actually sitting at the table, especially when I'm walking around the table. But at the very least, you should hopefully hear me. Like I've done in the past, I just want to check the chats to make sure that you guys can actually hear me okay. But like I've done in the past, I'm going to I'll do as much commentary as I can at the beginning portion of the stream, but as the stream goes on, I'll be talking less and less as I want to try to focus as much as I can. I'm assuming everybody can hear me okay. Now, the longer I've been playing this game, it's funny to me how the more weaknesses I start to find in my game that are preventing me from being able to run. The obvious weakness is just being able to make shots. I've talked about in previous live streams how my aiming changed a little bit to where I've noticed now, since a lot of my cuts that I end up a lot of my shots I end up overcutting, and I finally understand why, and I've made correct visual adjustments to where I'm sighting the ghost ball better. And so once I started taking more shots, I was getting out of the first rack more often than not. But then I started noticing that I would just miss the break ball, or I would get a terrible break. Now, I've been actually trying to make sure that I study the break as much as I can, just like how I've studied the break for 9-ball racks, 10-ball racks, so on and so forth. So I've talked about this before, but I'm trying to dive a little bit more deeper into it, rather than, if you've followed me before, that when you have a break shot that looks like this, and you're on this side of a parallel line to the side rail, you can just use topspin to go into the rack. And so that way, if the cue ball catches the top side of a ball, what'll end up happening is it'll back up and go this way, or if it catches the bottom of the ball, it'll back up and go this way and hopefully avoid scratching. Well, that's at least a good rule of thumb, but come to find out, it just doesn't always work. There has been times to where I would hit that rack with topspin and still just go right into this corner pocket. So I've been just looking at this a whole lot more by just doing this little trick of taking 3 fingers, which create a straight line, and just drawing a straight line to the ball, so that way I can visualize tangent line and how the cue ball is going to run into the rack. And so if I've visualized this correctly, it looks like I'm going to hit the 12 ball. The question is, how fine am I going to hit that 12 ball? Am I going to hit it smack dab center to center? Am I going to hit it slightly on top, or am I going to hit it slightly on bottom? Because that's really what's going to determine how that cue ball is going to react. If I judge this correctly, it looks like I might hit the top of the 12. If I'm correct, then that means when I hit this with topspin, the cue ball should back up and hopefully go this way. If I'm correct. I try to do this almost on every break shot now. See, I was wrong. So since the cue ball went down, that means I hit the bottom of the 12 ball. I hit the 12 ball nonetheless, but for the cue ball to go down means I caught the bottom of the 12 ball, so really the cue ball wants to scratch, but the topspin pushes it up, makes it contact the short rail. So I keep on wanting to do that over and over again so I can get better at seeing how the cue ball is going to strike the rack. Now, from here, this is an okay break. Like, balls are nicely spread out into the open, but there's no real good ball that I can use to break into the next rack. So I'm more than likely going to have to try to either develop one or just use what I got. So this is just like an 8-ball, where I need to identify if there are any problems and try to solve them as soon as possible. Now, problems in straight pull are typically balls that are on the rails. Those are considered problem balls because there's really not a whole lot of movement that you can do, and depending upon the angles that you can get on them. Balls that are blocking each other, clusters, are obviously a problem, and then sometimes balls that are up table are problems. Right now, I'm really trying to figure out how I want to start this out. Try to solve some problems. So, like, for example, I'm going to go ahead and try to get some of these balls off the rails. not really worried about this guy because he's a pretty big insurance ball, meaning that if I mess up getting position on something, I'll probably be able to shoot him into this corner pocket. Even though it's a trouble ball, it's also a nice backup ball at the same time. Now here's where I have an opportunity to maybe develop a break ball, because I'm going to try to shoot the purple 5 ball. I'm using Aramith Blacks. This is not the 4 ball, but I'm going to try to shoot the purple 5 ball into the corner pocket and spin my cue ball over to this 10 or this 9 and try to push either of them into, I mean, the 10 would be great. Try to push the 10 somewhere over here into break ball position. And then my 2 ball ends up being a backup shot if I don't have a shot at anything else. If I can do that. Well, not quite, but you can still see how I have position on the 2. And I also accidentally made a cluster worse, which is clearly something I don't want to do. All right, so now what? In straight pull, you're typically supposed to call the ball and call the pocket we plan on making. But you're not really going to hear me call balls if you can tell which ones are obvious. The only time you'll hear me call something is when I play a combination, or if I do a bank shot, or if I'm kicking at a ball. You know, basically any action that you can, common sense, deem not obvious. That's terrible position. Trying to get position on the 12. The 10 ball, the 9 ball, and the 6 ball just rolled themselves into a nice break ball position. They're still kind of cluttered. And the 9 will get me to the 14. Probably something I'm gonna end up dealing with. Then these 2 are still an issue, so I need to deal with this as soon as possible. I can probably try to deal with the 12 if I can pocket the 1. Well, not like that. That way too hard. That probably wasn't smart. I like this anyway. Yeah, what I did really just wasn't smart at all. The way I got position on the I tried to get position on the 11 and just screwed it all up. Ooh, that was close. Okay, so now you can hopefully see that I have an option to shoot the 14 or the 6. This is for anybody that's new to straight pull. If I shoot the 14 ball, the 6 ball is going to stay where it's at, and wherever my cue ball lands is going to stay where it's at. And the idea would be is I'm going to rack the rest of the balls and then attempt to keep on shooting. But think about it, if this ball is staying where it's at, then I would want to shoot the 14 ball, get some sort of position on the 6 ball so I can shoot it into a pocket and then hit the rack at the same time to keep my run, which doesn't sound ideal at all from this position. So I'm going to try to shoot the 6 instead, get position on the 14 to go into this pocket, so that way I can hit the top 2 balls here in the rack and then see if I can continue my run. I actually got terrible position there because I'm fairly flat on the ball. Just going to update my score. And since I'm flat on the ball, that means, or straight in, means my cue ball can only go forward, backwards, or stop, which means I have a small likelihood of being able to hit the rack and continue my run after that. Let's have a look. Now, I might be able to cheat the pocket a little bit, but with how hard I have to hit this just to generate something, I'm not really going to have like any control like at all. If I can hit this portion of the pocket, that means my cue ball will come right over here into the 1 and the 13. I have to hit this so hard just to generate something and then hope that I have a shot afterwards. Pretty much what I'm going to try. See what I mean? Ran right into the 2 balls like I thought, but I have to hit it so much harder if I want the cue ball to come off of the rack. Now, where either hopefully think of something creative, maybe get lucky, I don't know, or the run's going to end and my first score is a 15. For example, I'm going to try to call the 5 ball into the corner pocket because it looks like I can hit the 13. The 13 is going to hit the 9. The 9 is going to carry off the 2 and go right into the 8. I just don't really know if the 9-8-5 combo is in a nice line that's going to cause that to actually happen. That's what I'm going to go for. So 5 ball, corner pocket. Here we go. So I keep on shooting. So we look at this rack. 7 ball is a pretty good break ball. 9 ball is a pretty good break ball. I might want to not disturb them as much as I can. You can see I've got a cluster that I have to solve. And then I've got a ball that's on the rail here and a ball that's on the rail there. That's what I have to divert my attention to. Really not sure what to do here. Here's where I tend to get myself in trouble a lot because I can shoot the 3 ball in, try to break this up, and I think the 4 and the 10 would be backup shot. I struggle a lot in knowing whether or not if this is a shot that I should even go for. Like, it's a shot that I can go for, but should I go for it and try to break out the cluster at the same time? Or should I just shoot the 4 ball because it's just so much easier to do, and then I'll deal with this later. That's one of my biggest struggling points right now. But having said all that, I'm going to go ahead and try to shoot the 3 in and break that cluster open at the same time. can see, I didn't get position on the 4 or the 10. And that's because I didn't look to see where exactly was I going to hit that cluster. After I hit the cluster, where's the cue ball going to go? Where's the cluster going to go? Those are other additional details that I need to make sure that I go further into when I evaluate things in order to get better at this game. So really, with the fact that I'm where I'm at, I would have to consider that lucky. I didn't know this was going to happen. I knew at least I was going to hit the cluster. I just didn't really have a good idea of what was going to happen after I hit the cluster. Right now, it looks like I can try to save the 9 ball. I'm not going to deal with all of this. Got to get the 10 out of the way so I can shoot the 11. I got to get the 11 out, and then get the 11 out of the way so I can shoot. $13 doesn't pass by the 9. So here's where I can try to shoot the 10 and maybe try to bump into the 13 and just bump the 9 open a little bit more. Hopefully the 13 will have another pocket somewhere. And then the 7 ball, hopefully will be my backup shot side pocket. Obviously didn't help. That made things a whole lot worse. Doggone it. At least the 15 passes by the 11. I thought initially I had to move the 11 to 15. Alright, so here's where I have to struggle with what do I want to do? Meaning, do I want to get position on these guys? Because they both go here. That might be the next best thing for me to do. Or do I want to break them apart? In order to get position on them, I can use the 11 right now to get position on either of them. They're both break balls as well, since they're so close to the rack. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Wish I could have got just a little bit straighter on the 13, because now it would look like I might have to shoot the 9 unless I'm going to be really risky and go for the 13 in the side. That way I don't touch the 9. If I shoot the 13 in the corner, I'm going to run into the 9 ball, which might screw up my break ball. If I cut the 9 ball, I can go to the side and come back over here for either of these two and leave the 13 as the break ball. But shooting the 9 in the corner is a much harder shot. But shooting the 13 in the side is also a really difficult shot. I'm sold on the 9 ball. And that ends the run. So what, there's 4 on the table, that's plus 11. That's what, 25? That's actually not a bad start for the first attempt. Now we just start over. So what I'm going to do is keep playing racks until I've made at least 100 balls. Then I'm going to take a break, chat with everybody, and then go at it again. So this looks like I'm going to hit the top of the 2-ball. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this with a lot of draw, and draw the cue ball back up towards the head rail and back down. Like this. But you can see that was a terrible break. I have to use the 2-ball again at some point to re-break everything. When? Time to do all that. As soon as possible would be great. Might just go ahead and do it now. Difficult shot, but hopefully it would yield a lot of results. I'm doing the same thing here where I can try to judge to see what the heck's going to happen. Because it looks like I'll catch the bottom of the 12, so my cue ball is literally going to loop around and move the whole thing, but I got to really understand, like, am I going to have a shot at something if I do this correctly? Then the other problem is you hear me talking, you hear me putting all this thought into it, and I end up overthinking everything and potentially miss the darn shot. And so far so good. That was a good result. Got this line that I have to deal with. Now when you look, you should see that it doesn't look like I have a break ball. Try to make one now by hitting the 8 into the corner, bump into the 7, so the 7 comes right here, and maybe I should have a shot on the 14. The 7 ball's a little better. It's still pretty low on the rack, but it's better than what it was. I have a 15 balls in break ball position, but I'm also blocking the 7 at the same time. That's not really ideal. And if I play the combination, the 15 ball moves. It's also less than ideal. Very important. Okay, so at this point, this is where I would probably really want to figure out how do I want to shoot all of these off. This is going to be my break ball, most likely. It's the best one out here. This will probably be like, so consider this to be the 8 ball. The 6 ball is probably the next to best ball to get me position on this guy, which means the 1 ball is probably the next ball to get me position on the 6. Now I'm left with these 4 here. So it's like, how do I want to shoot these 4? And it doesn't have to be the 1 ball next. I mean, even the 13 could be before the 6. Not really in the greatest of positions to shoot anything right now. I don't like this position at all. $15 ball is the easiest ball to shoot at that keeps me at the table, but I would end up losing the break ball. So I really got to decide, that's something I want to do, and then just develop something else just to keep going, or do I want to take a more difficult shot and preserve the 15 ball? Now I'm trying to put too much thought into this. I'm trying to commit. You just heard me say that was the next best ball to get me on the 15, but now I got to come up with something else. Oh boy. That wasn't the cleanest way to do it, but hey, it got the job done. So it looks like I'm going to be hitting top of the 4, top meaning towards me. This is probably another shot that I can draw, unless I want to try to make the cue ball do this. Again, this right here has been my kryptonite. Making the break ball and breaking the rack back open. And of course, the worst of it is if I do everything, do I even have a shot? That's always the best part about breaking into the rack is, do you even have a shot? I can't begin to tell y'all how many times I've broken into a rack. The rack will spread wide open, but I can't shoot at a single ball. Not straight at a ball. I have to do a combo or, you know, some ridiculous curve shot or just whatever other than just a nice normal shot. Up into my own chair. All right, so we're in decent shape so far. This could be a break ball. I mean, it's pretty far away from the rack. Got this mess to solve. Now I've got these two balls up here. A little. Probably going to want to use the purple 5 ball as a break ball now. Either use the 3 or the 12 as a key ball. Now I need to direct my attention up to here. These balls gone. sorry for getting quiet there, but hey, I'm already at the third rack. Because now all it is just rinse and repeat. Until hopefully I can either put up a good score, break my record, something. Now the 5-ball is a little high on the rack. So this is probably where I can't hit this break shot too hard, because it looks like I'm going to hit the top of the 3-ball and go over here. So I don't really want to skim off the 3 so badly that my cue ball just starts flying all over the place. I don't think I can hit this as hard as I did my last. Decent spread. Just rinse and repeat the process over and over again. Cluster. Gotta solve the cluster ASAP. Break ball, maybe. Shoot the 9 now, I'm going to lose the 14 as a break ball. Debating on shooting the 7, so that way I can shoot the 8 next. Get to the 4-ball to break these 4 up and use the 9 as a backup shot. That's what I'm debating on right now. Obviously shoot the 3-ball. I think I'm settled on the 9 for a reason, though. That puts us in a good spot. I just gotta carefully maneuver my cue ball around. What to do. Oh. Options. Commit to. 3-ball looks like it's the worst ball in the entire layout. All the other balls look fine. Don't like the 3-ball at all. Okay, 3 ball is solved. Which ball do I want to use as my break ball? 6 to 13. Okay, wow. This is the sad part about doing this stuff, whether or not if I'm live streaming or if I'm just recording. The pressure starts to build. This is equivalent to anybody that's never broken and ran an 8-ball rack or a 9-ball rack and you're on the verge of doing it. Adrenaline starts to pump. You hope that you complete it and don't mess up. Exactly what I'm feeling right now. Whew. Right? Yeah. Not good. Say that because if I shoot this 8-ball, the cue ball goes this way into the 14 and the 12. I don't know if I'm gonna have a shot on the 1, and I don't even know if I'm gonna have a shot on the 9 when I get that close. Question is do I want to make sure that I try to come all the way out and maybe just rely position on the 10? Maybe. Not sure. Well, never mind. Didn't hit anything. I'm shooting off my break balls, but only because I want to stay alive in the rack. Problem is, at some point in time, I'm gonna have to make an aggressive move at some point and go into that cluster. Like, I can aggressively try to do it off the 1 right now. I can't do it off the 14 though. I'm too flat on the ball. I can maybe do it with the 10. I just don't know if I'm going to have a shot afterwards. That's my problem, but I think that's what I have to go for. See what I mean? It's just silly stuff like that. Did I even have a shot? Ten ball's gone. I don't even have a shot. I have to play the 15-9 combo. So that's only +3. So hey, 45. Can't be mad at that. Can't be mad at that. Yeah, but I can't even shoot the 7. I can obviously shoot the 15, but the window to go past the 9 is really small. I would probably feel more confident trying to play the 15-9 combo than to play the 15 by itself. All right, so there's where I have to ask myself. I clearly could have maybe scored a couple of more points, but what am I gonna do? Take 3 points and then use whatever last ball that was there to try to go into the rack, or go into the rack while I had those 4 points sitting around. That's a constant struggle in that decision-making process. See, there's the overcutting of shots that I was talking about, which is more and more frustrating every time I do it, knowing that I'm not trying to overcut shots anymore. I would rather undercut shots because of how much I'm visually adjusting my aim. I don't count zeros, by the way, in case anybody's. I don't count zeros or ones at this moment. If I get a 2, I'll count. Meaning, I'm sorry. Sometimes I can make a ball in the break, which will be to 2. Like, I have to make a shot after the break. That's when I'll count the score. I have to make the break ball and the first shot, and then after that, when I miss, that's the score that I count. So you see that action right there, that's where you know that I'm hitting the top of the ball. So what's really wanting to happen is if I didn't have enough topspin, the cue ball is going to work its way this way. But that topspin, as the cue ball works its way this way, the topspin pushes it to the side row. So if you can identify that you're going to hit that part of the ball, that's what you want to have to ask. Or you would say, screw it, let's embrace that movement, come all the way down here, and then spin all the way back towards the middle of the table. Like I said, I've just been trying to study that more and more to just become better at predicting what is going to happen when I hit that rack. As you can see, I always try to check to see where I need to be on my last ball. I can try to put my ball into break ball position. Oh, so far so good. My kryptonite. My kryptonite. And I at least had a shot at the 10 ball. Yuck. I haven't decided if I want to put my reinforcement labels back down. I'm waiting to be able to get my the Accu-Rack Ghost template that Jason Shaw used when he broke the straight pull record. I have a template that I can use to set down reinforcement labels. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about from previous live streams. And I might be able to start getting better spread results when I do that. $15. Almost got the one ball in break ball position. Might end up using 4. The 14. Oy. What's ideal from here? Going from the 7 to the 10, or from the 10 to the 7 and to the 4? Decisions, decisions, decisions. I just wish I didn't get straight in on the ball. Because I'm straight in, I have to ask myself, do I really want to go this way and shoot the 4 into the corner? Or do I want to come right here, shoot the 4 on the side, and go into the rack that way? Not very often that I take side pocket shots, but I think I will in this case. If I had a better angle on the 10, I could have used the side rail and spun out towards the middle of the table to get better position on the floor. But I'm gonna have to settle for this. So naturally, the cue ball is going to basically hit the 11. I'm clearly going to hit this with topspin. So I'm probably going to arc into the 12. The question is, am I still going to hit the bottom of the 12? Or am I going to hit the top of the 12? Because if I hit the top of the 12, I'm going to keep coming up this way. If I hit the bottom of the 12, I can still come down this way unless the top spin is enough to carry the cue ball. Same time, I still got to make sure I make the 4 ball. Looks like I hit the 12 ball flat. That's why I kind of just stuck to the rack. That, and I overcut it of all things. So +2, that's 16. So if this were gone, this was the next thing that I was going to do. And then try to keep going from there. I got a shot at the 13. So. Hey, that puts me at a perfect 100 already, though. So, I think this is probably one of the coolest things that I'm ever going to report on a live stream. I did only 4 attempts and got out of the first rack on all 4 attempts. That is a first. That is an absolute first. Like, holy cow. Now, maybe you might want to consider, well, there's that shot where I didn't even make the break ball. So like that would be one if I included that stat into this. But I'm not going to start doing that until like when I hit my 100. When I hit my 100, that's when I'm going to start counting like zeros and ones and stuff. So you can pretty much consider this to be this is really an augmented average, really. So 4 attempts, 3 times I got to the second rack, and then that one where I got that 45. I've made a total of 100 balls out of 140, and I'm averaging 25 at the moment, which is an all-time best. All-time best way to start the stream. The question is going to be can I hold it for the rest of the stream? That's always going to be the thing, because my average tends to hover around 12 to 13. I don't typically average 14, which is 1 rack. If I can do that for tonight, then I think that would be huge. So if you're just now joining me and hearing this for the first time, then definitely please give the stream a thumbs up. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, it does not matter. Because like I said, this is literally the best that I've ever started. Holy crap, who gave me a super chat? Eves, thank you so much, man. You're off by a penny. Thank you so much for the $6.65 super chat, which I think equates to $9 for Canadian dollars. I really do appreciate it, brother. But did somebody else give me a super chat? Let me see here. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Maybe not. Oh, there it is. And Eves, you did it again, actually. I don't think I can find it to where I can highlight it, though. Yeah, it looks like in order for me to highlight it, the message is too old. So I'm clearly going to at least do that. But your previous one said, should be my classic 666, but in USD this time. Glad to see you back streaming, brother. I really do appreciate it, man. Really do appreciate it. Woo! Okay. Well, man. Holy crap. Corn4 Billiards, thank you so much, man, for the $2 super chat. Really do appreciate it. This is my brother. This is my fellow Texan. We actually got to meet for the first time, finally. This was, I think it was just a couple of weeks ago. He actually came through when he was heading towards Skinny Bob's in Round Rock to meet some friends, and on the way back home he stopped by my local area, got to see me shoot for a little bit. We got to chit chat and stuff, and I'm eventually going to try to come up to his area, which is in the DFW area, where when he puts on clinics for the junior players, I'm going to try to make a surprise visit for those junior players and come help him conduct his clinic. I just don't know when, because oh my gosh, Trevor Simpson, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I really do appreciate it. And actually, there we go, because it says amazing start, little Chris. Keep it up. I'm certainly gonna try. But the at the end of this month, I have to go to Las Vegas for the Scotch Doubles national events. I don't know if anybody's been keeping up with me to know that me and my Scotch Doubles partner won our regional event, or our Straight to Vegas qualifier event. And so I'll be in Las Vegas from, what's the date? I'll be in Las Vegas the 27th, the 28th, and the 29th, and I think I fly back on the 30th. I'll be arriving on the 27th. So if anybody's in Vegas, hit me up. And actually, here's my partner. My partner's in the stream here. What's going on, Josh? Glad to see you here, man. So yeah, if you happen to be in Vegas during that time frame, don't hesitate to come up to me and or my partner and say hello. Brian Quintanilla, I know I see you on my Facebook. It says you met me at the Texas State tournament in Temple. And you took some photos of me and Tony Robles. And I'm trying so hard to remember that, brother, because anybody that says that they've taken a picture of me, because you have to understand that lots of people come up and shake my hand, lots of people take my pictures and stuff. So I'm really trying to. I remember when I had Tony here. And I had to go to the Texas State championship because I had a team that I was on. And while I was there playing, Tony was there also, because Tony was here at my house helping me with my straight pool game. And clearly, after that, and because I see Shortstop on Pool is here, he's helped me with my straight pool game. Y'all should have seen my Christmas streams when I had Demetrius here. Demetrius has been helping me with my straight pool game, and hopefully it's finally paying off. Like, my goodness, but. I'm really trying to remember, brother, and I just can't seem to pull up the image of when you helped take the picture because I know there was a big handful of people, especially since I brought Tony into town. Like, everybody wanted to come and see Tony, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. But you know what? Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back. Okay. Quick and easy. Okay. I need to turn on the AC in here. It's getting kind of warm. Okay, so while I take this break, this is where I'm happy to answer any questions, or if we just want to do just general chit chats or anything of the sorts while I regather myself, and then I'll do another attempt to see how many attempts it takes me to hit another 100 balls. Oh, let's see here. Who's on Facebook? Oh. Hello, Your Majesty. Oh, y'all didn't see him on camera. Hang on. Oh, did everybody hear that? Oh, my goodness. Come here. Look who decided to grace us with his presence. Hi, everybody. Y'all aren't going to see Link because he's currently in his crate. He was a little rowdy for Easter when we had the family over and they brought their dogs and stuff. So I don't think I'm gonna go get Link for tonight, but at least have the door open so this guy can come in here and say hello. Come on. Gonna come watch me play? Are you gonna be my good luck charm? You know what? I guess I can't do that without showing y'all Link. I'll be right back. And then here's Link, everybody. I end up putting him back in his crate, though. Hi. See, he's got a haircut. Not scraggly looking anymore, and I don't like it. I like him better when he's all scruffy looking, especially when he was a pup. He's still a puppy. He's not even a year old. Hi, everybody. I'd keep you in here, but you'd be too much of a distraction. You can see I just woke him up because he's still sleeping. He was just taking a nap. Poor thing. Oh my goodness. Here, I'll let you sit in my lap for a little bit. You can. Everybody can. Oh, there's the cat too. You gotta. If you give one attention, you got to give the other attention. So yeah. All right. So how's everybody doing? How was everybody's Easter? Whether or not if you celebrate Easter or not. I mean, or better yet, I should just maybe ask, how was everybody's weekend? Isn't this a cute photo? Oh my goodness. Oh, G-Man, you had a German Schnauzer? That's interesting. This is a purebred. This is a miniature Schnauzer. So purebred miniature Schnauzer. Let's see here. What in the world is this? Then what are you going to be doing here? Gearing up for a year day challenge to improve your game? What is that supposed to be? So, Old Dirty Blitz. I have no bad things to say about the Taom Fusion tip. I was actually debating on if I was going to do a break and run of a 10-ball rack, point of view style, or if I was going to go ahead and change the tip that's on my tuxedo to the Taom soft tip so I can compare it to the Taom Fusion tip. As I mentioned before, I have no complaints about the Taom Fusion tip, but I will say, though, that it is just harder than what I would prefer. I'm able to work with it. I've already made YouTube videos with it. But every time I pick up my Black 4.5 that has the How soft tip, I just prefer it much, much more. And like right now, my tuxedo has the Victory soft tip on it, and I just still prefer that much, much more than I do the Taom Fusion. So that's why I want to compare the Taom Fusion to the Taom soft tip. And based on the way that I actually like the Victory soft as well as the How soft, I can only imagine that I'm going to enjoy the Taom soft tip as well. But that'll be the thing where when I can actually when I go ahead and decide to change the Victory soft tip to a Taom soft tip, and I'll do some sort of comparison video between the Taom Fusion tip and the Taom Pro soft tip. But if you've seen any of the videos where I've used the icon, or even my live streams where I played with it during straight pool, you can hear how much harder it sounds versus like the Victory soft tip. And if that's your preference, then that's your preference, right? It's like I said, there's nothing wrong with the tip, but just by the way the tip sounds and the way the tip feels, it's just not geared more towards my preference. Because I'm able to perform with it just fine, but it's still more of just of a feeling thing, and then of course the way the tip sounds. Oh my goodness. Really? Here, I'll be right back again, everybody. So, as a matter of fact, what I'll do right now for the second set, I'll go ahead and switch to the icon and shoot with the Taom Fusion tip, and y'all should even with this microphone studio setup, y'all should be able to hear how different it sounds. Because it's harder than a softer tip, it's supposed to be in the middle between a soft and a medium. So when you start breaking it down into the decimal points, I don't exactly know what the score is on it, because I know there's a chart out there that tells you like this tip is like 0.5, this tip is 0.6, and so on and so forth. So I don't exactly know off the top of my head where it actually lands, but I think you'll be able to hear how much harder it is. Brian, Quintanilla, where are we staying at in Vegas? As far as I know, it's going to be at the Westgate because I think that's where all APA like national events are done. I'm pretty sure it's going to be at the Westgate. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on the second set here. Oh, turn that off. I meant to turn this off. Let's switch this out. The icon, like I said, this has the fusion tip on it. And the tip even sounds different when I'm chalking, like because it's a harder tip. You can definitely feel the texture difference between the two. All right. So let's see if everybody can hear how different this tip sounds. This is one of the examples I was talking about where like it's kind of a decent break, but no real good, decent opening shot. Especially when I shoot that bad. Wow. At this point, I'm just trying to stay alive in the rack. That's certainly not the way to do it. So at this point, I don't know if anybody's been able to detect the difference. I mean, it's easier for me to hear the difference because I'm right here shooting. But as you can see, I'm able to perform with it just fine. So I can't say there's like a performance increase or a performance decrease. Or anything like that. that was probably dumb. I got away with it. Yeah, that was actually really dumb. I at least have a shot at the 8. Clearly, I'm grateful for. Ah! Perfect position though. Shot it two straight into the point. So 13. There's my first failure of rack 1. See, and that's what I meant, right? I'm back here. I hit that with topspin, and I still scratch. So I have to ask myself, did I hit it too hard, and the topspin didn't have enough because the cue ball is sliding across that tangent line? Was it not spinning fast enough to be able to beat the scratch? Should I have drawn the ball instead? So that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes the rule of thumb is. The rule of thumb of when you're behind, when you're doing a back cut break for the break ball and going into the rack, top spin just doesn't always do it for you. I at least knew that my cue ball was coming down here. That's why I hit it with top spin, thinking that I'm going to hit here and just come back out, but it didn't work. I'm hitting the top of the 7. Never mind, I hit the bottom of the 4. And still, just not a really good opening shot. Like back cut 13 ball, that's a difficult shot where I can combo the 15 into the 12. Back cut the 13 in, I'm going to run into the 11. I don't even know if I'm going to have a shot after that. At least combo the 5 into the 2. I can probably at least have the 13. Maybe. I don't know. That's the thing about this game, especially when it comes to the break shot. You're gonna end up relying on a little bit of luck right after the break. Oh, come on! Here's where things start to fall apart. That was actually a good breakout there. 6, 7. Oh, I didn't end the inning there. So there's 7. This is where you got to ask yourself, well, if I'm not performing as good as I was, is it really the stick's fault? This is a 12.5 millimeter Revo shaft with a Taom fusion tip versus my tuxedo that has a 12.9 millimeter Revo shaft with a Victory soft tip. I'll tell you the answer is no. In my opinion, the answer is no. Decent break, decent spread. Look at the cue ball position. I have a shot at the 15, but I got a bridge over the 8. And just horrible way to start. Like that. I don't get past the first shot, so this isn't a score that I'm going to count. Even though I made 2 balls on the break. purposely try to set up for a draw shot. Or I know I'm going to hit the bottom of the ball. I think it's right about here. Or I shouldn't say I know. I have an idea that I'm going to hit the bottom of the, the top of the 11 ball. That's why my cue ball does this. So if I accurately judge where I'm going to hit that rack, then I can hopefully have a higher probability of controlling the cue ball and how it's going to behave. At least have a better idea of where the cue ball might go. I was hoping to hit that 3 ball. A little different. It's not very often that I'll end up with a behind the rack break, but we got to take them when they come. We catch the 15 balls. I don't think I'm going to get much of a spread here. Okay. Make the best of it. We can do. It's going to be the 13. Look, I'm only going to hit the 12. I wanted to get flatter on this so I can run right into those. 7 ball's going to be my break shot, or my backup shot. Looks like I'm just going to maybe catch the 12. Me? Question now becomes what? 5 doesn't go. I try to go into them with the 8 ball and still use the 7 as a backup. I'll eventually come down here for the 10. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Oh, I just missed it altogether. Never mind. Oy. Oops. I really want to shoot my break ball. The answer is no, I don't. I'd be able to clip the 12. Go. Now what? These two go up there. Position on them is not the greatest thing in the world. Don't think I want to try to run into them. I'm just not guaranteed a shot. I can shoot the 12 and try to run into the 5. I'm just not guaranteed a shot after that. So I don't think I want to try to do that. I think instead I'm going to maybe go ahead and get positioned for this 10 ball down here. Yeah, I think that's the... Get flat on a 10. What's wrong with you? Alright, so use the 14 where I use the 9. Like it it might have to be the 9. This is the same thing where I'm just not guaranteed a shot. This is not the greatest of angles to have either. I think it has to be the 9 ball. Really trying to really catch the top of the 11 from my viewpoint. Am I going to miss the 11 altogether? I might miss the 11 altogether, so maybe it might have to be the 14, but I can run into the 9 if I'm not careful. Yeah, I can easily hit that 9 if I'm not careful. If I miss the 9, I should hit the 11. See what I mean? Ah, that hurt. That really hurt. So the only thing I see, I'm going to call the 5 ball cross corner. I should have called this ball. What was I thinking? I should have called this ball. All right, so that one doesn't count. Or whatever ball that was. That's only a 12. Wait. Did I mess up? This is where I get a little confused. Was I in the second rack on this run out? So it's yeah, current score 14. This is 2 racks, so that's plus 12. So 26. Okay, thank you. I wasn't exactly sure. Sometimes I get confused with this stuff. Okay, so back to this. That's right, because I had the behind the rack break shot. That's why it was the second rack. I remember now. Could have easily nipped that 5 ball. This is clearly a priority. This is kind of a priority. That is not what I had in mind. Oops. trying to get position on the 14, but I blew that. Right? The purple 13 is looking like to be my break ball unless I can get that 3 ball to be a. But I gotta get there first. I said, I gotta get there first. That was just terrible. So, 9, it's a 6. So there's pretty much the symptom of when one thing goes wrong, everything kind of just starts to domino after that, unless I can get back in line. So when I bumped the 3, which I didn't want to do, I was actually trying to get position on the 3. Then I had to shoot the ball down here, and I was trying to get position on the 14, but I didn't get position. Right, so the moment things start to spiral out of control, then they can really get out of control unless you can get back in line, which I failed to do. Not bad. I really just did not get position. That's frustrating. inch too soft. I did. Changes things a bit. The idea was to get, you know, flat on this ball or even a little on this side so I can roll forward for the 5 and the 1, and then I want my break ball. On the wrong side of the 13 because I hit it too soft. Try to do something a little different. That stinks. I rolled too far. Ah. I think I can hold this either. The angle's too sharp. Now, take a much more difficult shot, but at a better angle. And that's really one of the more frustrating parts about this game, is that when you get to those last couple of balls, every position is super important. It becomes very easy to mess up if you're not careful, just like I did. See what I mean? Made the ball finally. Hit the rack. But look at my shot. Seriously. Ugh. All the shots that are on the table, I probably think this one's the easiest. 10 ball, corner pocket. Oh, I missed that so badly. Woo! So if you're thinking about picking up this game, this is all the frustrating stuff that you're going to run into. I am living proof. Shortstop on pools knows exactly what I'm talking about. I missed that combo badly. Like, wow. Not bad. Wait. Seriously? see. Okay, that messed things up. Now that I'm okay with. I would rather undercut a ball than overcut it lately. That's just a 5. So here's the part that I really struggle with is that when you look at my first set of attempts, how well I was playing, and I mean, I think it's fair to say that I'm literally trying to play the same exact way. Not able to put up similar numbers. I struggle with that concept as to why does that happen? Why am I not able to put up similar numbers? I think I'm at least playing using the same principles, trying to pick my patterns the same way, etc., etc. What is different? Clearly, there's got to be something. Look at how clean that end pattern was. Like, that was everything that I wanted to do, where my cue ball didn't have to do anything. I think the only shot was when I shot the 9 ball and I had to spin around, or whatever ball I shot in the corner, and I spun around the other ball. Because then after that, I was just stopping the cue ball, or I was just rolling the cue ball around until I ended up over here. That is like ideal, how you want your end pattern to be. Even an 8 ball. Like, you would hope that your last 2 or 3 shots in 8 ball are just stop shots. That's what I get. Undercut that one. I massively undercut that one. I'm actually going to try that again as my starter. This is another thing I do in practice. Is usually when I miss a break ball from beyond the first rack, I usually attempt to start my next run with a similar shot. See if I can do better. I undercut it last time. Undercut it again. I think I'm choosing the right way to shoot it, which is to go 3 rails around behind the rack. Missing the shot. There we go. Like, this is probably the best result I can ask for a break shot like that. And ideally, if I wouldn't have ran into the ball that was here, my cue ball would probably be somewhere right here, which would have been great. So let's see if we can make something out of this. I guess that was okay. Things up a little bit. Man. All right. All right, just had to. Door ended up closing. I had to let Zelda back out. Oh, what do I do here? Oy. Overcut the ball. Oh, that was a tough rack. You know? And I did. I got position on the 9. Then the 15 was going to be the next break ball. So that's 11. Whew. Like one more attempt and we'll be at another 100. Not bad. Everybody else ambidextrous at this game like I am? Clearly I shoot better with my right than I do my left. Fairly proficient. Well, it's not what I wanted to happen. I mean, I got positioned on the 10 like I wanted. Not one 8 ball tying up next to the 9. necessarily bumping into balls is something you don't want to do in this game. If I bump into a ball, it definitely has to be with purpose. Sometimes being in that position is really good, where your last two balls are essentially break balls. So depending upon the position you get on either of them, you basically do a transition like that, where you two rail around to the other one. Okay. Don't dare. Ah. Well, that's the name of the game. Oi. Let's see here. Wow! Oh, holy cow, you gotta be kidding me. I went completely around that. +2. All right, so there's my next set of 100. Holy cow, you have got to be kidding me the way that did that. Wow. Okay, so here's where things start to become more realistic, or at least more consistent with what I've done in the past. But I can say at the very least, I have more non-rack ones than I do rack ones, which I think is good. So what? The last attempt was 4 before I got at least 100 balls. This one is 9, right? Since I now have a total of 13. 5 times I did not get out of the first, wait, what? Yeah, 5 times I did not get out of the first rack. 7 times I got to the second rack, and then there's still that 45, which is pretty much being the top main, the best score for the night. I wish I could have gotten a 50 on that one. I think that would have been good, or at least that one. Getting a 50 live is always like a good milestone for me, because my record of 79, that was done on a recording. I didn't do it live, and I've done it twice. I've done it twice in a recording. I've at least hit 50. I think I got into the 60s before on live. I can't say that for certain, but I think I did. Oh, but yeah. Let's see. Of the 13 attempts, so I made a total of 213 balls out of a possible 322, so averaging 66%. You know, if I hadn't missed a single ball yet, I would have ran 322, right? So yeah, but averaging 16, so my average has dropped down. At least my average is above 14. I would really like to be able to finish the stream off with an above 14. So it's like, maybe I should quit now while I'm ahead. But I think I will at least do one more series of attempts before I decide to call it quits. And then so we can experiment again, and I will swap back to my tuxedo with the 12.9 and the Victory Soft, and let's see if there's going to be a drastic difference or not. Like, who knows? We'll just have to see. What's everybody talking about? Let's see. I see some talk about some poison cues. Talk about the Black Widow's cue. See some stuff about the Kalewood. Yeah, I think recently Kalewood's got a new generation. Their second gen of shafts that are out. Oh, Bob Anderson, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Welcome. Really do appreciate it. Ooh, see some talks about a Mucci. Let's see here. Okay, so now I understand the context of this. I'm going to go back far enough to this here. John, you're saying I have skill, but I'm going to have to learn how to play straight pull successfully. He has to play with a chip on his shoulder, and I have to get mad. Trust me, brother, I get mad when I'm not live streaming. Right? Because then your next comment after that is to get mad. Yeah, if I wasn't live streaming, I'd be a lot more colorful. But I mean, I don't know if kids are watching this right now, so I tried to be quote unquote a little bit more professional. But when I'm live streaming, when I'm not live streaming, I'm not as professional. I get mad like you're talking about. Oh, hey, what's going on, Jaybird? No, we're not done yet. I think I'm gonna do one more attempt before I cut the stream off. I want to see if I can hold my average. Currently, my average is 16 right now, so I'd like to see if I can hold it above 14 by the time I'm done. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, see, I like this. I try to keep my streams PG. I think I've only cursed one time on stream, and that was when Jaybird was here with me, and we were practicing for the Texas State Open. I don't know if anybody remembers that stream. One word slipped. But does anybody have any questions? Because otherwise, I'm just gonna roll right into the next series of steps or series of attempts. I never would have thought that I actually liked having like this thick of a beard. I have to admit though, like I hate maintaining this thing because like when it starts getting real bushy here on the sides, and then of course having to shave everything down to be nice and flat, and then see how long this could actually go. But I mean, I'm actually quite enjoying it. I'm actually quite enjoying it. So we'll see how long I decide to let it grow down. And I don't know how long I'm gonna keep it, but so far I've been liking it. Trust me, John. I know exactly what you mean by that, because anybody that knows me knows that I'm also an extremely nice guy as well. It's just like, you know, you really have to push my buttons if you want to get me like quote unquote excited. But I mean, you know, it's just, again, it's just one of those things to where it's like, since I'm playing for an audience and I don't know how many kids might be watching, or let alone kids might watch this after the fact. So as a influencer, you know, I want to make sure that they see a positive side of the game, which includes watching a decent player like myself. I don't really consider myself to be a good player. I describe myself as decent, but watching decent players struggle to play the game. So I know exactly what you mean. Oh. I don't think it was. I could probably find where it was, Jay Bird, in one of our practice matches. I distinctly remember it was right after I missed a shot, or either I missed a shot or I thought I was gonna scratch right after, you know, trying to play position, and I was just like, oh bleep, and then I looked at the camera and I was like, y'all didn't hear that. Oh my goodness, those are some good times. Ooh, I gotta get some Viking Revolution beer products. That's kind of, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that, because that's kind of the look that I'm going for at the same time, because like a long time ago I did a video where I wore a green screen suit, so that way I can act like a ghost, because I green screen myself out of the entire picture. The production of that video and the quality of that video was terrible when I look back at it, but it reminds me of how I did it. So I'm thinking about doing it again, but when it comes to the Viking stuff, I have Viking cues. So I thought, you know, just as a silly video, I can cosplay as a Viking and use my Viking cues to play some pool. So the thought of that has crossed my mind. Hey John, I really do appreciate that. I'm trying. I've been going at this for over a year now, and the best I've been able to do so far is to hit 79 twice. I've gotten a lot of 50s. Let me see here. I actually have like a lot of straight pool videos that if I wanted to, I could post them. Because back on January 22nd, I got a 50. On January 25th, I got a 56. January 27th, I got a 64. And then on February 27th, I got a 51. March 10, I've got a, what is this? On March 10, I got a 68. And then on March 14th, I got a 55. And then on March 24th, I've got another 56. All right, so I mean, I've got some scores that I can put up, but I would rather spend the time editing an 80. Like if I get an 80 or if I get another 79, anything 79 or higher is something that I would post again, right? To really show progress after that, and that way I can put my cue ball diagram up there, and you know, so on and so forth. But I at least anytime I score a 50 plus, I at least keep the video, so that way I can go back and I can go back there and study it and try to figure out what I did good and what I didn't do good. Yeah, see, this is Jay Bird used to live with me way back in the day, and he's absolutely right. He knows how stubborn I am, and like I will not quit this journey until I complete this journey. And I can say this though, like even though it might not show here when I'm playing live or anything, but like my 8-ball game has improved drastically, I would have to say, because the principles that I play by when I play straight pool, I apply pretty much those same principles when I play 8-ball. And a lot of my 8-ball runouts have been a lot easier than what they were in the past. Oh, y'all want me to do a compilation video, huh? Well, I figured the compilation video would eventually come when I eventually break the 100, right? So that way I can take all of my old videos and even some of the ones that I haven't posted and just show show the opening break shot and the failure make ball and what the score was, so you can like see the progression, and then bam, here's the 100+ run that I was finally able to do. Like that's the compilation idea that I have in my head if and when I actually do break 100. But all right, that's enough talk for now. I'm gonna go ahead and do one more last attempt. So I'm currently sitting at 213 for total balls. So when I get to 313 or more, that's when I'm gonna stop for the night. Once again, I want to thank everybody for being here. If you haven't done so already, please give the stream a thumbs up. It doesn't matter whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. Please like the stream. Here we go. Go ahead and swap this guy out again. Let's see if there's going to be a difference. Had a really good first set performance using that cue. A mediocre performance using the icon with a different tip. So let's see what happens here. Oops. Meaning for my cue ball to come all the way up here like this. Just do that? Wow. Seriously? An overcut. Anytime I overcut a shot like that, that is super frustrating. Knowing that, like I said, what I've been working on so badly now is recognizing better when I'm overcutting a shot and making a very drastic visual adjustment where I should either make the ball or undercut the ball. So even, it really irks me that even when I feel like I make that visual adjustment, then I end up still overcutting the ball. Yuck. Oh, and by the way, like I said, can y'all tell the difference between how a Victory soft tip sounds versus the Taom Fusion? Oh, that was the first shot, right? Yeah, so that doesn't count. Not gonna count that one. But I mean, to me, that's just it. Like I said, there's nothing negative I want to say about the Taom Fusion. To me, it's just more of a preference thing as to how the tip sounds versus how the tip feels. I do know that my buddy Jaybird says he actually likes the way it sounds from my streams and from the videos that I've had it in. And I don't remember, Jaybird, have you changed to it yet? Have you got your cue retipped with it? So trying to run into the 9. That didn't work. Now I don't have to try to run into get position on the 3. Actually, that's terrible. So now I'm about to bump into the 9. That's gonna be too soft. Woo! It didn't matter. I still ended up screwing that up. Seven. So that's it. There would be another issue to where when I knew I wanted to get position on the 3, I didn't come over and look to see exactly where I needed to get position on the 3. Because I would not want to run into the 9-ball. So just, you know, these are all the mental notes I keep trying to make sure that I do, the steps that I try to recreate. Oops. But then sometimes, and I'm sure everybody can relate, like when you look at when you think about your pre-shot routine, sometimes on certain shots you end up skipping a step. When you really shouldn't. That's pretty much what I just did there. Oh, that was a miscue. Whoops. Oh, that was dumb. Oh. Ow! Hit the 10. not supposed to hit the 10. It's a 9. Nice big chalk mark right from my miscue. Really wish that would have stayed up. Try to bump this 9 ball into quick ball position. And of all things, I didn't hit it hard enough. I really tried to get that cue ball to go over to the side rail, and I ended up not hitting it hard enough. I got nothing here, so I'm gonna do this. Alright, take my point. Then I'm gonna call 15 ball here in the side pocket. Come on! If I ever make that shot on stream, I should not have to scratch. Doggone it. Come on! That was a heartbreaker. 2 balls, and they don't even count. That's a heartbreaker. Aye. Oh, that almost makes me want to quit right there. That just knocked the wind out of me. That just knocked the wind out of me. So, in case anybody is wondering, are there shots that can be made out of a complete rack? Yes. I try to do what? Whenever that's my only option left. You can bank the corner balls into the cross side. There's a couple more shots besides that as well. Not the only one. There. It's one of the most common ones though. Can't say that. Oh, that's still such a heartbreaker that happened. Made the shot on stream, then had to scratch on top of that. Gotta be kidding me. The 9 ball doesn't. 1 ball is a break ball. 2 ball on a string. So normally, like, this is a shot that you just hit with topspin because I'm back cutting the ball, but I'm still trying to make it a habit to see where I'm going to hit the rack so I can hopefully understand how the cue ball is going to behave. So did the cue ball do exactly what I thought it was? Yes, because I saw that I was going to hit the bottom of this ball. And with the top spin that I had, that's why it goes to the short rail and comes back out. So the more I know that, then hopefully the better the probability will be of me being able to do something like this. Come on, bump it in! Oh! And what was that? That was an overcut. Right? My kryptonite. Overcutting shots. Plus 5. 19. Well, that didn't react the way I thought it was. I thought I was going to go to the short rail and back out. Great, the 6 ball rolled into break ball position. At a purple 5. wasn't supposed to do that. Now, the cue ball is going to get touched by the rack. So here's the first instance where if I put the rack up here with my rack outline, you can see I touched the cue ball. So I actually get cue ball in hand in the kitchen. But I wasn't supposed to touch the cue ball. I was supposed to just go right up through the rack towards the middle of the table. So sometimes there is a strategy where it's actually just easier to land the cue ball in the rack than it is to try to get position on the break ball. So you basically play that position to land in the rack. That way you can get ball in hand in the kitchen. But considering that where my cue ball got bumped to, the likelihood of me getting a good break shot, not ideal. Not very ideal. You can see I was going to scratch, but I think 4 saved me. Okay, maybe if I can make this combo first. 9 ball. I'm going to call the 14 ball corner. Oh, it bobbled. It bobbled. I probably just hit it. Probably just hit it too hard. If anything. And I just saw I had a luck ball fall, so that doesn't count. +3. Oh, so that's 17 actually. So I didn't mark the end of my last rack. Okay. So I probably didn't have to hit it as hard as I did. That probably what caused me to miss. But I wanted to open the rack up too. That probably didn't. I didn't want to be stuck to the rack, that's for sure. Bad. Contemplating this because even though I could shoot the 4 ball, I'm not going to have much of a shot after that. It looks like I'm going to hit the 11. I just can't tell what kind of shot I'm going to have after that. But this 10-9 combination looks pretty good. Seven, 10, 9. So I'm going to call it the 9 in the corner. Allows me at least to go into the cluster and open things up a little bit. risked making a better break ball than the 5 ball and lost position. I can either shoot the break ball and still resume the 5, or try to keep it and either play fairly wired combo or bank on the 3. I can't believe I did that. Even shooting the 7 right now doesn't really yield me a whole lot of decent results. Of course, that 8 ball's going to get in my way. Now do I want to shoot my 5? Bank the 3. I want to keep the run going. I'm going to shoot the 5. Just try to figure things out. Okay. That's not bad. The 1 ball is high on the rack, so this is another one of those I'm not going to be able to really hit the rack all that hard. I don't want to just turn the cue ball loose. So let's see what we can do with it. See? What did I do? I overcut the ball. When I'm looking at the shot, it really does not look like I'm overcutting the ball, but clearly I am. And oh my goodness, that is just so frustrating. That is beyond frustrating that I keep on doing that. The only way I know how to describe my visual adjustment that I'm talking about, based on what I'm really seeing, it looks like I'm undercutting the ball. And I know that sounds hard to believe, but I'm not kidding when it really looks like I'm undercutting the ball, but come to find out I'm still overcutting the ball. 15 ball. Was so dumb. I played position for the 2 and I completely forgot about the 3. I'm going to chop that one up to exhaustion. Play the 9 instead. Trying to get position on the 10. Turned over too far. And I was trying to get right here. Like I said, when one thing goes wrong, things just start to domino after that. It's really difficult to recover. Play the 6. Stop! I have a little angle, but I'd like to have a sharper angle than that. I'm a little too flat on the 6. Okay. That's literally probably the best thing I could have asked. Best result I could have gotten from that. Now, here's the question. If I blast that 7 and hit the rack from behind, think so. Think so. Not what I wanted. I have to take it anyway. Because I just shot my key ball. Right. Got another rhythm. I could have put a little less side spin on that so I end up on the other side instead of where I'm at. Well, that's what I get for miscuing again. All right, so where does that put me? That ends it. Oh, what a way to end it. What a way to end it. Whew. Okay. Well, you know what? I can at least say, cool. Look at the average. Right? Look at the average. It's above 14. It's not very often that I do that. And I've gotten out of the first rack more times than not. So I think that's definitely an overall victory for tonight. Definitely an overall victory for tonight. But man, to see this right here, right at the very beginning, that 45 right near the beginning, and then almost would have gotten right there at the end, at the beginning and then at the end. So, whew, that's about all I can do. That's about all I can do for now. Overall, a good night. 21 attempts total, so that means it took 8. It took 8 more to get another 100. 8 times I could not get out of the first rack. 11 times I got to the second rack. I ended in the third rack here with the 28, and then still that 45, with the 45 being the best run. So 326 balls out of 518. I was able to complete a total of 16 out of 37 racks, but averaging 15, which I'd have to say is good. I'd have to say is overall is good in comparison to how my other streams have been in the past, where I don't even get over 14. So definitely at least on the up and up. I'm actually really glad that I was able to perform like this via live, because my practice sessions don't go this good lately. Because what did I read off? My last good run that I had was March 24th. So a couple of weeks ago when I got another 56. So I mean, yeah. Not sure what else to do about that other than to keep grinding. So all I can say is I think that's pretty much where we're going to end things for the evening. I want to thank everybody for being here. Like I said, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. So on your way out, if you haven't done so already, please give the stream a thumbs up. And then if you're watching on Facebook, then please share the stream to your Facebook profile, so that way your friends and family can get to know me. And then maybe consider sharing it to your favorite Facebook pool groups as well. I really would appreciate it. Everybody that super chatted, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate that. Y'all know it's not necessary. I don't ask for donations, but I'm always thankful when I get them, just as much as I'm thankful for everybody taking the time on their Easter Sunday to be able to come and watch me play some straight pool. So with that being said, have a good night, everybody, and stay tuned for more published videos.